The waters over the Edmund Fitzgerald are restricted by the Canadian government.
But when the Canadian ministry was told what Stand Up for Great Lakes wanted to do, they granted the guys a permit to pay respect and do a very special tribute to the lost crew. The team of Corey Atkins, Stephanie Atkins, and Mark Goethel take us there in part 2 of Crossing Lake Superior.
Everything kind of hurts, but it's supposed to.
The guys from Stand Up for Great Lakes were about 11 hours in on their paddle across Lake Superior. They weren't far from the site of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The lake was surprisingly calm, still as glass.
As we headed to the Fitzgerald site, and mind you, they kept accelerating across the lake. By the time we were a mile out from the Fitzgerald site, they were doing 4.5 miles an hour, just cruising across this glass. And we turned on Gordon Lightfoot. Turned it up loud. I think they were probably making over 5 knots over that last mile, just cranking out the strokes.
The scene was really unfolding dramatically. We had super high anticipation. We had just been paddling all day, so we're getting amped up as we're getting closer.
Approaching it, and you have the sunset off to your right, and it's a little hazy, and the day's been perfect, almost blessed for this occasion. I have this wreath on the back of my board that we're about to place down, and to know what those sailors were going through at that point in the lake, literally you were there.
43 years ago, a terrible accident happened right here. 29 men lost their lives. Quinn, Jeff, and Joe's excitement turned somber.
It hit me really the most, you just fully realizing we're above the Edmund Fitzgerald, literally above it, and everybody that was on board, they're down there. That really brought it home, that we actually did have the opportunity to do something meaningful for these people right above them.
We came together and we had our boards almost in a triangle. We put a wreath with 29 carnations on each of our paddles. We lowered it down into the water, and then we Joe threw a 30th flower out there too. And we just sat there and had a moment of silence and watched it. One thing that actually I was thinking when we were sitting there and the wreath was just kind of floating between us, I started kind of looking at the flowers, and I was thinking to myself, oh, that's a guy, that's a guy, that's a guy. And that was hard to think about, but I'm glad we did it.
To see the guys out there to lay the wreath and the respects that they had for it, and knowing how they feel about the Great Lakes and especially this opportunity, it was amazing.
Then something unexpected happened.
We floated over to get ready for the night. I'm sitting there with my feet in the water, and I'm looking over, and the wreath just sitting there. It doesn't want to move.
We were drifting. The wreath was not.
Something was holding it there.
They paid respect one last time. 17 miles to go. For 9 and 10 News, I'm Corey Atkins.